Making real money, the sort of money that is life-changing, seems impossible for most people. It's a pipe dream, a fantasy, it's pie in the sky thinking. Why is this? Is it because most people are too lazy to earn some proper wealth? Or maybe wealth is reserved for an elite group? We don't think it's either of these.
We would argue that instead of being too lazy, it's exactly the opposite. Everyone is too busy to make any real money. Most people have it in them to make some serious moolah, but everyone is too busy working to get rich. That seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? Surely most people are working to get money.
You can be working really hard in your job, but this income will never make you wealthy. You're too busy working on someone else's priorities and collecting the crumbs while they keep the entire pie. All a job gives you is enough money to be able to afford to show up again the next day without dying in the interim.
And it's not just your job. Are you spending your downtime productively? In this video, we're looking at how filling your time with low-value tasks and other people's priorities is holding you back from reaching your real money-making potential. Let's check it out.
Welcome to Unshackled.com, the investment and finance channel and website that sets you and your finances free.
That was Andy and I'm Ben, and if you like what we say, hit the like button and click subscribe.
Is wealth an event or a process? Becoming wealthy isn't an accidental event, and it doesn't happen overnight. It happens to those that plan for it and take the required action, and that action takes a lot of time. We all need to pause for one moment and take a look at the road ahead. If you don't like where it's going, you need to change course. You likely have the problem of being too busy.
Everyone is so busy working a job, cutting expenses, and doing low-value tasks that they forget about the end goal, making some real money to live the life we want. You're probably so busy working for a living that it consumes all of your time and energy, so that there's none left over to spend thinking about what you could be doing differently to make more money.
We end up with so little free time that most people consider it ludicrous to spend any more of it doing further work, even if that work will ultimately set you free.
Busy 24/7. There's a great quote from Arnie. There's 24 hours in a day, you sleep 6 hours and have 18 hours left. Now I know that there are some of you out there that will say, well, wait a minute, I sleep 8 or 9 hours. Well then, just sleep faster, I would recommend.
When you're not sleeping for a third of the day, you'll likely have a job consuming at least a further 8 hours and probably overtime, even if it's unpaid.
If you slave for an additional 30 minutes a day in unpaid overtime, that adds up to around 16 full working days over the year. It's clear to see why the employer's whip hand likes you chained to that desk for as long as possible. Disobey and you'll see your promotion prospects vanish. Then there's commuting. Probably in the region of an hour each way if you work in a major city, with all the stress and exhaustion that brings.
Finally, you have the evening, but this is far from free time. It's a constant battle. You probably have to cook, clean, exercise, and even look after a family. There's no time for anything else. You probably collapse at the end of the night and watch a little bit of TV, and then the cycle repeats.
Work smarter, not harder. You've no doubt heard of the saying, work smarter, not harder. This is perfectly fine when you own the means of your income, and by this, we mean you work for yourself. As we mentioned, wealth doesn't just happen by accident. It involves a purposeful attempt to generate ideas and, more importantly, the time and the inclination to implement them.
With a clear and rested mind, you will see what everyone else is too busy to see. Opportunities will present themselves on a regular basis. Working smarter is about prioritising tasks that add value rather than being busy doing pointless tasks that add little to no value. Clawback freedom day by day. To make space for working smart, you need to claw back some free time. Freedom or retirement doesn't have to be a single day event. It can be a slow process where it can be attained day by day.
This is how we approached it. I reduced my working days per week from 5 to 4 to 2 to 0 on my path to freeing up time. The freed up time can be reinvested to generate new money-making ideas or increase the speed in which it takes to arrive at the freedom destination. Eventually, these new projects can replace the job entirely.
Why working hard doesn't work as an employee. Unfortunately, if you are an employee, any time you save at your job will be filled with additional work. Like when gas expands to fill a container. You haven't benefited at all. As a thank you, you'll probably be gifted with more work and added pressure.
You've proven that you're smart and dependable and that they can count on you. Extra work tends to gravitate towards the most capable employees. This additional work might buy you a small gesture of appreciation in the form of a pay rise. But we're only talking a few £1,000s, and normally this takes years to earn.
Do this enough and you can become a manager earning say 60 grand a year. These jobs almost always come with even longer hours, unofficially of course, and unpaid. For the hours worked, we calculate that the average manager is on less per hour than their underlings. I once received a hefty salary increase, but in return they asked for more overtime, which would have caused my hourly rate of pay to go down. I of course told them, no deal.
Don't forget the added stress, the need to always be available, and the taxman of course wants an even bigger cut. Being a top-ranking employee simply won't allow you the time to work on real money-making projects. If you just had some time, you could scratch an itch and see where it takes you. If you're too busy looking down, you'll never see what's in front of you.
Wage slaves get crumbs. No matter how hard you work, you will only ever get crumbs as an employee. There's no two ways about it. Employees are almost always replaceable. It doesn't matter who delivers the work as long as it gets done.
A business takes considerable risk and an employee takes none, so it's only right that the rewards flow to the shareholders. But this fairness doesn't change the fact that you will never be paid your true value while you're working on someone else's dreams.
Let's calculate SMART. An example of working smart is building up an investment pot that works for you and pays you passive income. How much money do you need? That totally depends on you, but if you were looking for £20,000 a year in passive income from a shares portfolio, you would need at least a £500,000 pot allowing you to safely withdraw 4%.
Job incomes are capped, and there is no way that they will allow you to build up a pot of £500,000 sufficiently quickly in just a few short years. You'd need to save or invest several thousand each month, which is almost certainly more than you earn anyway, and is an impossibility as a wage slave. But there are no rules as to how much you can earn from a business. A good business will have scalability built in, so it is very possible to be able to earn and save such large amounts.
No time to learn. Earnings are correlated with knowledge, but most people stop learning when they leave university. Learning should never stop. When working a job, people just do the same thing over and over again until the job and you becomes obsolete.
It's imperative that you continue to level up your skills throughout your life. When you stop learning, you really do lower your value in both the jobs market and the business world. Proper scalable business models capable of making you a lot of money fast invariably use the internet to reach the widest customer base of all, the planet.
If you had the time to learn a skill like coding, you could develop an app that could be downloaded by millions. If you had the time to learn creative writing, you could pen the next great novel. These skills and others that lead to scalable income take a long time to master.
Start by freeing up your evenings. You've got to start saying no to chores. Outsource them to the cleaner, the tradesman, the nursery. Your duty in the evening is to focus on making money.
I always feel like the office grump when everyone does those cake baking days for charity. But I just don't have the time, as I'm too busy working on my life goals. I don't have the time for low value tasks. I'll happily donate money instead, but who has the time for baking a cake when there are dreams to work on?
Question of the day: are you guilty of being too busy to focus on making real wealth? And how do you plan to fix this? Let us know in the comments below.
Thanks for watching. On this channel we talk about personal finance, investing and all things money. And if you want to see more great content, please click the subscribe button below.
This is moneyunshackled.com. See you next time.